Wake Up with Jim and Sab is exclusively on Spotify.
And if you want to start your own podcast, you can check out anchor.fm.
If you love the pod and you want to support us, make sure you follow us on Spotify. Also, you can tag us on Instagram and Twitter at Wake Up with Jim and Sab.
Welcome to the Wake Up with Jim and Sab podcast. Hi. Kapagod. Kapagod.
This pod naman, I wanted to open up.
Oh.
Yeah, I know I've mentioned it a couple of times in the previous episodes, but I wanted to talk about anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So today, in this episode, I'm gonna share my battle with anxiety
Mm-hmm.
and how I've treated it, how I am treating it, how I've dealt with it. Yeah, but before that, you know what? I just wanted to talk about the fact that we've been vaccinated na.
Yay.
And
We're
apparently, ang dami pa rin palang, well, not compared sa first world countries, pero ang dami pa palang anti-vaxxers dito.
Oh, yeah.
And it's mostly, of course, it's the government's fault. And when I say the government, I mean the political, the people in leadership positions who steal money and don't help people in need.
They don't help people make informed decisions because they don't inform people.
The lack of education is alarming, and you know, given the whole, you know, what happened with Deng Baksha, may
Mhm.
trauma talaga yung, you know, yung the Filipino people, and especially if you don't read up, you know, on kaya nga diba echo chamber.
Yeah.
So what they see is, you know, that's all they'll ever learn, or that's how they will educate themselves.
Mm.
Anyway, na ano lang ako na parang ngayon natapos na tayo mag-vaccine. Like for almost 2 years, we've been like, the vaccine, we need the vaccine, we
Yeah.
need the vaccine. And sadly, parang it's here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good step, diba, into changing, parang recovering the world.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you feel like it's still the same?
It is. It is very much the same.
I mean, has
Sadly.
it lessened ikaw ba, personally, na-lessen ba yung anxiety mo?
Well, I really have. It's definitely there. Nothing has changed for me because I still don't go out if I can help it.
Ah.
So we're still in our little bubble. We're still just trying to stay alive here.
Well, siguro our primary concern talaga, since the beginning of this whole thing, was our parents. Diba?
Mhm.
Kasi they're older and sila yung mas, you know, the COVID would be bad for their age group. So having them vaccinated, that was a huge relief. Actually,
Yes.
for us rin naman, parang slowly, I'm, like, kore, there was a time when you'd say like, hey Jim, may gagawin ako, punta akong grocery or something. I would be kind of like, daming tao dun, or something like that.
Mhm.
Kahit naman wala.
Yeah.
Kumari, by appointment, alam ko naman na naka-face mask ka.
Mhm.
There's a level of comfort na.
There's a level of comfort. Yeah.
And parang mas secure yung feeling ko.
Yes. But just to make it clear, I don't think it's clear to everyone. Some people think na if you get vaccinated, you're immune.
Back to normal.
You're invincible. And
Yeah.
that's not the case. I mean, you are very much protected from the worst effects of COVID, but you still might get it. You may have, less drastic effects, but the fact that you have it means that you will be a carrier, and other people who have not been vaccinated or cannot be vaccinated could get it. And for me and Jim, the anxiety is from having 2 children, and we still don't know really some studies say that they're pretty much fine, they won't get it, but then others say some kids have had COVID and have had bad effects.
Yeah, kaya nga
So-
naiingit ako sa ibang, parang, in a way, medyo naiingit ako like with some people na, wow, grabe, they're not as afraid as me. I
Yeah.
mean, so parang, I don't know what to do, but I do know that we have to actively find a way to normalize this na. Diba? Na parang
It's
stop
so
waiting for the world to return to what it was once before, but actually really accepting that this is part of the new world. So therefore, yun, I just wanted to parang kailangan ko lang ilabas yun na parang naiilang ako na okay, maybe nga hindi pala we've been waiting for the world to come back to what it was once before. But maybe that's not the case. It's about how do we adjust to this new world. And sadly, it's face masks, the things we used to love that were very social and, they will change. The whole dynamic changes. So, wala lang. And anyway, I wanted to start with that because
nag-peak yung
nag-peak
anxiety
yung
mo.
anxiety ko with this COVID thing. And prior to COVID pala, no?
Prior, as in January.
Oo nga.
So March na announce yung the pandemic has hit us.
Yeah.
And
like I said before, I've mentioned this that I've been dealing with anxiety, and I hope I hope it's clear that I am clinically diagnosed. I am not just using it na I'm anxious. I've always been a very anxious person, pero now it's something that that's something that I really, really struggled with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in January 2020, what happened? We went to a friend's wedding. Megan and Mikael.
We went to 2 straight weddings.
Two weddings.
Ay.
2 consecutive.
2 straight. Sorry.
2 heterosexual weddings. No, 2 weddings, 1 weekend apart.
Yeah. Okay. It was the first time that we were away from the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. And again,
that's why.
just as
Kasi both of them were out of town.
yes. And just as a ano ba? Parang para mas maintindihan niyo ako. Again, iba yung situation namin with Pancho, So ever since then, iba talaga. Like I talked about this on my pod with Ali. Na there was a time that I was thinking, shit, grabe, hindi talaga ako yung dad na okay lang yan, mag-swimming lang siya sa basura. Okay lang yan. I mean,
which dad is that?
I mean, hindi ako like,
gotta throw him in jail.
hindi ako yung parang, liga na, shot, tapos 3-year-old. I'm,
What the?
Anyway, so there, and before that whole wedding, dati pa, alam
So
na,
wait lang, going back, January 2020, we had 2 kids na. Vito was October,
3 months?
December, January, 3 months old.
Mm-mm. So, and
We decided to
not bring them to the wedding.
Kasi stress sila sa ride and it was just one night.
And Vito wasn't fully and he didn't have
vaccinated.
all his vaccines yet.
So we decided to make him stay with Jim's parents and just go away for one night. And for me, I was very, 3 months, I totally, na-practice ko na siya kay Pancho. And if I could leave Pancho for one night, I could totally leave Vito for one night. So parang, I was game. And it was a good break for me. Yun yung naisip ko, parang, I'll treat it as a break. And I won't have mom guilt. It's one night. It's my best friend. She's getting married. It's fine. I had no idea that Jim was the one na sobrang grabe. You didn't share it with me.
I did. I actually told you.
I don't remember. Parang one moment you were just like not talking to anyone, and then parang you were being a little strange. You were acting strange.
I was
Tapos parang you were stopping yourself from telling me that there was something happening. Diba remember?
Hindi, kasi ganito. Okay, so what I want to share is how I found out that I had anxiety, or how I
confirmed,
acknowledged that this wasn't normal. Prior to this whole thing, prior to Megan's wedding, I was already feeling, we came from another wedding. And I was already feeling parang a tingling sensation in my hands. Like parang I felt like, and nakakatawa, I'm sure someone who listens to this has experienced that. And it's parang feeling mo na mamanhid yung kamay mo.
It's the type na pag naupuan, ganon? Or iba?
Yun nga yung nakakatawa eh. If you Google it and whatever, it's always pins and needles.
Yeah.
That's how they describe it.
But it's not?
I can't, iba eh. Iba eh. Parang, I don't know
Parang feeling mo walang blood sa kamay mo?
Hindi.
Ah.
Parang, let's say, kumari, a prime example was, every time I'd put my pants on, how do I explain this? Parang I didn't feel my pants going up.
On your legs?
Yeah.
Oh, even your legs were affected?
Parang, but alam ko I could feel. Like, I if I'd pinch myself, masasaktan ako. Pero there was parang a delay. And I think obviously naman, that was part of the anxiety na, you know.
But you didn't know at the time.
During that time, I kept researching and I called the doctor.
You went to a neurologist.
And of course, their answer was, it's too much alcohol. Kasi we came from a wedding, I drank, and siguro I didn't have enough water, and therefore kulang ako sa vitamin B. So I was like, okay, that's it pala. Before that, yun, parang before that, I experienced it na. Alam ko naman na if I drink too much, merong ganitong effect sa akin. So, nag-vitamin B ako, whatever. And then, it came to a point na I was having lunch with Ali and parang we were in a business meeting for Linya Linya. We were eating sushi. And it's not like this person was our close friend or whatever. It was we were talking about business. We were eating sushi. And then suddenly, like, nagpanic attack ako.
Wait, what do you mean? It's not like this person was our close friend? Ali?
No. It was me, Ali, and someone.
Ah, okay.
So we were talking about business.
Okay. It was a business meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hindi ko masabi na
you were having an attack.
nag-freak out ako. Kasi we were just eating sushi, talking about it. This was after the wedding na. Sorry about ang gulo ng chronology.
It's okay.
So, we were eating sushi and then I felt like di ko na maramdaman yung kinakain ko.
Oh my God.
Like, parang, oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Oh shit. Ganon. And I couldn't say. Alam mo, hindi ko masabi kasi nga,
trying to close a deal?
Yeah. We were in the middle of business.
Yeah.
So, nang doble pa. Kasi parang, how do I do this? How do I leave? And eventually, I tiniis ko, left, went straight to the hospital.
Oh. I don't remember this.
Yeah. Tapos nag-ER ako, diba? Tapos, the ER made me go to a neuro na walang kwenta. Na parang,
nagka-Candy Crush, ganun. Luma ng Candy Crush. Di man lang ML, Mobile Legends.
So, made me, sabi, drink folic acid, drink, I was gonna say phallic acid. Drink folic acid, drink vitamin B, okay. Then do all these things, chest x-ray, blah, blah, blah. I was fine.
Yeah.
Diba? And then,
it kept being, parang nag yung frequency niya, diba?
Yeah, parang, ang nangyari was the nerve thing just kept getting worse. Parang, ay mas ramdam ko, mas iniisip ko, and then those bursts of panic attacks kept happening. Like, kunwari, I'd be in a meeting, and suddenly, I'd be like, mag-freeze ako.
Yeah.
Like, I can't talk. Yeah. I couldn't think.
Yeah.
And then because I couldn't think, kahit normal lang naman na it would just be a second of me not thinking, ang iisipin ko, oh my God, nag-pause yung brain ko. Ganon. Freak out ako. Cut to,
Tapos hindi consistent yung mga triggers, no?
Yeah, walang trigger. Kasi after that, I think I stopped drinking.
Mm.
I could still exercise. So physically, I was good. And then eventually, I saw a doctor. I remember, ito yung naalala ko.
Mm.
And I saw the doctor. Right before seeing him, I went down. You know yung when nag-park ka,
Mm.
tapos empty lot,
Mm.
tapos puro
Mhm.
damo.
Mm.
Diba? So as I go down the car, I didn't feel the grass on my legs. So therefore, nag-freak out na naman ako. I had to go back in the
Oh
car
my gosh.
and like,
Oh.
and then went to the doctor na. It was in his house. And then he made me do this whole, he's a neurologist.
Mm.
I
Yeah, neurologist.
was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good neurologist. Hindi siya Candy Crush. And then he made me do this test, like where I touch my nose, touch my whatever. And
Trying to check if it was some sort
yeah,
of nerve damage.
if I
no?
have nerve damage.
Mm.
And he pretty much said, like, this is stress.
Mm.
This is stress induced. He didn't say it, but when he prescribed it, I didn't know what the drug was. And so I asked my dad, oh, apparently it's like some very strong antidepressant na pampakalma.
Mhm.
Okay. So sorry ang
No,
mahaba
it's
to.
okay. I mean,
But again,
I think it's very informative.
it's a deep dive on anxiety. So um
Just to make it clear, January 2020 yung first like actual itong numbing attack mo.
yeah.
And then you only were able to see a doctor towards the end of 2020, no?
No. Hindi.
Hindi ba?
Hindi. Kasi before quarantine pa to eh.
Hindi.
Yes. Ano ba? You think pupunta ako
Bahay?
sa doctor na nangyayari tong COVID?
Ah, so you went there just months.
January yung wedding, nag-manifest. And then,
Ah, okay.
I think early Feb, before Pancho's birthday.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I drank this and it was, woo! As in,
Very strong.
sobrang sarap. As in, like, for the next 5 days, I was like so happy. I'd go to the office and Ali was like, grabe iba yung energy mo. So ako like, saya, tara, ganyan. So excited. And then I realized, I suddenly got scared
Mm.
na, oh no, 2 days left of this meds. And then on the second to the last day, biglang major freak out ako talaga. Yun yung talagang, oh my God, fuck. And it was, so therefore, like ganito, another example. I want to give more examples because someone who might have experienced this
Mhm.
might realize na baka yun pala yun.
Yeah.
And ma-ease yung, kasi that's what I was looking for during that time eh. Like, does anyone feel this? Wala ba?
Yeah, ako
Wala
lang
ba talaga?
Oo.
I was playing basketball. And then suddenly I was dribbling and it's a competitive league.
Mm.
So it's not just a wala lang with friends.
Mhm.
So alam mo yun, parang you have to do well. I was dribbling the ball and then suddenly I didn't, parang hindi ko nararamdaman yung ball. And then I couldn't move my legs. Parang hindi ko nakadribble. My mind was taking over my body, in short. And then when that happened, that's when I said like, sorry, gulo talaga. Anyway. So I took that medicine and then for 1 week I was good. And then before the last night of the medicine, that's when I had a freak out because wala na.
Mm.
So sabi ko, sige, shit, this is so addicting. I learned that drug was like, it's very, very strong. It's what, I hate to say this, but it's what old people use. that really battle, parang severe depression and whatever. I think the doctor was trying to make me calm down and see na, tingnan mo,
Wala.
it's just your brain.
It's just in
you
your
can
head.
just you can rest your brain. Ganyan. The problem though was it didn't solve a lot of issues for me.
Yeah.
But it helped realizing na, okay, one, I don't have nerve damage. It's not something like,
It's not a physical thing.
Not a physical problem that I have to deal with. And two, I have, I did something. I felt normal again for a few days.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, parang linaban ko eh. Parang walang medication. I didn't do anything na. Hindi ako therapy, hindi ako nag-ano, whatever. And then, linaban ko, parang I would say na it was okay, but I knew it wasn't. And then, nag-quarantine, nag-COVID. Um, it just so happens na the night before nag-lockdown yung Pilipinas at nagsara yung NBA, I fell during a gig, nagka-concussion ako, I passed out, and
Went
I
to the hospital.
went to the hospital, and then woke up and may COVID na yung mundo.
Yeah.
So
just
that
to,
did,
just to clarify, he passed out because he didn't have dinner.
yes.
Hit his head on the gravel on the parking lot
Yes.
of Sagiho. Crazy night.
So, we weren't afraid of hospitals pa then. But anyway, so after that, so nag-COVID and we were here, bubble, diba? And then every day the news cycle was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So, I couldn't touch groceries. I didn't want to touch anything. And then nag-peak siya, yun nga, Sabi and I were watching Gone Girl.
Yeah, that was very
Relax lang
random.
kami. And then,
I remember that. Super kawawa. Yeah, as you said, like, can we pause it?
Yeah.
And then paused it. And then, like, you went to the bathroom, went back in the room, and then you just, like you were breathing heavily, curled up into a ball and said, parang, parang something like, I can't, like, I don't know what's happening. Super kawawa, grabe.
yeah.
It was very hard to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why, yun nga,
What do you think triggered that? It wasn't the movie Gone
no,
Girl.
it wasn't.
I think that was a time, Jim, na, tama ba to, na may guilt ka because you were watching a movie and thinking about, like, but if the boys were taking a nap.
Yeah. No. That's why. It was nothing. Nothing happened.
There was no trigger.
There was no trigger. And that's when I knew na, okay, there's a problem na.
Yeah.
As in, kasi walang trigger. Walang get. Yung dati.
It wasn't even an anxiety-inducing scene from Gone Girl.
Yeah,
Wala,
it
there was
wasn't.
nothing.
I was actually having so much fun.
And we had seen the movie before.
We've seen the movie before. And then I went outside and I looked at the sun just to parang, and then got a notebook and then just started writing down like what was going on. And I wrote like, I'm having a panic attack, ganyan. It was a major freak out. And, yeah. So, and, I guess, parang,
So were you always like this even when you were a kid?
I would say that I've always been very anxious. I always fear the negative outcome.
Mhm.
Like, let's say as soon as I get an opportunity, let's say, I get a new job. The first thing I think about is, okay, how will this be horrible? Or like, I get a new toy or a new guitar. Okay, how am I gonna ruin this?
Oh.
Medyo ganun. Like, parang so, yeah, I've
Imagining
been
the
generally anxious. But what really triggered it is, which I learned, is I really had, post-traumatic stress.
Mhm.
Diba? It was, again, just to recap, parang generally I was anxious but very manageable. Like I never had a panic attack. I've never had a freak out. And that's the thing, we were perfectly in love. We were young. We were pregnant. We were expecting a boy and a girl, twins, and then suddenly it just, it's 2 ICUs. I feel like I'm gonna lose Saab and my kid. Just lost another
One,
kid.
yeah.
And it was something that really, parang I think took all of my emotional energy.
Yeah.
Like nothing was left in the tank after
Yeah.
that. So
Pero in 2018, as Pancho was growing up, parang your body and your mind didn't allow you to process this, no?
Yes.
We were just like, okay, one thing
What's
after
the
the
next
other
step?
was
What's-
hospital appointment, doctor, what's the next? What's the next? What's the next? What's the next? And then I got pregnant again. And I
Yeah.
think that was another trigger for you. Because also for me, I was anxious and I don't have an anxiety disorder. But for me, it was very hard because we were like, expecting the worst. Kasi parang, okay, I mean, something happened before, so for sure, something's bad gonna happen. When's it gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So we were just always like waiting na, okay, it's not gonna reach how many weeks, diba? And then kept trying to brush that out of our heads. So still no attacks on your part, but then it was parang after he was born, no? Parang it was when everything was in the clear. That's when that's when your mind and body allowed yourself na parang, okay, now you can freak out.
Parang
ganun nangyari.
The whole time that was happening, I never got those nerves. I never, alam mo yun, hindi ako nagka-panic attack because I was on survival mode. I was like, everything I can do for Saab and Pancho to be okay, I will do. Parang ganon. Just pure instinct, pure survival mode. So anyway, yeah, and then so I had that trauma. I never assessed it.
Processed it.
Kasi even after that, the whole time was taking care of you.
Yeah, you were making sure that I was okay.
That you were, na parang your grief would be okay. Like parang, and it came to a point na I actually had to talk to my sisters kasi parang I asked for advice because parang I realized I was becoming so overprotective of you. Like parang because I saw you in that moment and in that delicate situation, parang nothing can harm this person. You know, physically, emotionally. So parang kuwari, a little thing that someone says, for example, I'd be like super parang instinct first, walang rational. So after that, and yun nga, hindi ko na process. I had to bottle up all those emotions, and then when Vito was born, he was 1 month. Yun nga, na-hospitalized both kids, and it was so traumatic, and it was.
Yeah, they both had pneumonia, and then Pancho also had dengue.
So, and then, parang after that, like, it really started when the first time we were away from the kids. Kasi nga, tama sabi mo, like when it was all peaceful na, my mind, my mind was, I think, telling me na, okay, I'm letting your guard down. Therefore, you will become vulnerable. You will feel all these things. Get ready for the floodgates to open. So, yeah. And then the COVID happened, and then when will my sisters,
be able to see us again?
See our boys and see us.
They're both in Sydney.
When will all these things?
What's gonna happen to your business?
My business. How do I talk to my staff? How do I ganyan? All these things, and then it all became a big ball of emotions that I never acknowledged until nga yun nga. Kaya parang you know how they say that the body is so smart and the mind parang they will find ways to. Kaya nga may symptoms kasi it lets you know that there's something wrong.
Yeah. So
I think like the Gone Girl situation, it was like hey, pansinin mo na to.
Yeah.
May problema na.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so right ako, that's how I knew that okay, this is something that I can't fix with a 5-day pill treatment.
Yeah.
Something I can't yoga.
Yeah.
Something I can't exercise, something I can't journal and productivity, whichever. It's something that I knew that I had a handicap and I had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yun. So I want to share some tips on how I battled this and what I did to, help myself. But before that, let's take a break.
G-Insure has dengue and COVID-19 coverage that can be extended to the family. It's so much easier to protect the family's financial future with G-Insure because all applications and approvals can be done via the GCash app, and you can get a plan for as low as 300 per year. Yes,
what?
Not per month, but per year. Tapos you can pay lang then using your GCash wallet.
Whoa.
It's super accessible and affordable, and it helps ease the burden of getting sick. Be protected. Get G insured with just a few taps using the GCash app for as low as 300 pesos per year.
Grabe. Nakakatawa kasi parang for the younger people, getting insurance is...
Ano ba to?
ano ba to?
Ano ba yan? Kailangan ba yan?
I mean, ganun tayo. Ganun tayo before eh.
Parang it's like a fly that you keep trying to swat away.
And it sounds so expensive.
And it sounds like, to quote you, something that old people use. It's an acceptance of your age, but it's not true,
and
guys.
It's really
true.
about the concept niya, the mentality of next time na.
Oh. It's like when your computer keeps asking you to do your software update, your system update, and you always click tomorrow. Tomorrow.
But
I have never done that.
Obviously, during this crazy time, insurance is a pandemic essential. And, that's 300 pesos a year.
You can't say wala sa budget. It's 300 pesos a year.
That is one BTS meal. And you
that's two Starbucks drinks.
Yeah. And yung astig dun is, GCash actually partnered with Singlife to make G Insure.
Okay.
So it's parang GCash partnered with an insurance company. So if you're
a very reputable insurance company.
So if you're a GCash user,
it's just super easy.
You just tap 300. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Okay.
So Jim, you were saying that you wanted to talk about things that you did to combat your anxiety.
Yeah, I guess the first thing that I did was I sought treatment. I really
And it took you how many, no? Parang you went to that ER thing.
Yeah.
You went to a Candy Crush neurologist.
Yes.
Months later,
I went to a Candy Crush therapist online.
And then the good neurologist who gave you very strong drugs. And then
si drugs.
And then you found one that worked for you, a psychiatrist.
Yeah. But before that, I just want to say it's so easy to be defeated once you try and then it doesn't pan out as much as you hoped. Kasi I remember yung Candy Crush therapist naman na online. It was so bad. Like I felt worse after. So
where did we find that therapist?
Wala, nag-Google lang tayo.
Yeah.
So the reason why I really wanted to seek medical help.
Wait, sorry. Candy Crush therapist, can you expound? Bakit siya naging, why do we call
Candy Crush? Because
yung parang wala siyang pake.
When I was 23, I went to the doctor provided by my company. And then the whole time na nag-diagnose siya sa akin, nag-Candy Crush. Tas I ended up na colonoscopy na hindi ko alam bakit.
Na hindi mo kailangan.
Na hindi kailangan. Barium enema. Hindi pala colonoscopy. The worst thing ever.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so this guy had the same vibes.
As, yung when I say Candy Crush, yung parang, okay. Sige. Ito na lang yung reseta.
Bakit ganun yung... Okay.
Reseta na. Okay.
Ting. Reseta.
Yeah. So it can really gets ko eh. And the thing is kasi with something like this, it's so easy kasi to feel good the next day. That's the problem eh. Parang there are days na okay eh. So you feel like okay, parang okay, tama, okay.
Hindi ko na kailangan.
But acknowledging that it's the same as having diabetes, diba? Or having something, you can change your diet, you can do whatever, but you need to be diagnosed. You need to know what it is kasi it's hampering your daily activities eh.
And so that you get the proper treatment that's best for you. And
my motivation talaga was like, God damn it. Like, I just want to enjoy my time with my kids. Like, I don't want to have these things na. Like, I want to enjoy today. Alam mo yun? I don't want to keep thinking about tomorrow and then because of that, stops me from
Experiencing.
savoring the moment.
Yeah.
So yun, so
What did you learn from your um
well, I learned a lot of things. Number one, yun nga, I had, because nga na-assess ako, I learned that the nerves thing was an actual thing.
mm,
So that in itself was the healing thing.
it's not just in your head.
Yeah, yeah. Na it's not just me na am I going crazy. Ganun pala yung mga iniisip ko nun eh.
Yeah.
Nababaliw na ba ako?
Yeah.
Siraulo na ba ako?
Gosh.
And it's called pastisha. Sorry, I forget. But something like that. You
Parang
can,
masarap yun ah. Pastisha.
and then, you know, after that, I was happy knowing that, but the more important thing that he told me was, one, he made it everything science based. And like we say, diba? If you treat it like science, then at least okay, mas nagigets ko. You get out of your emotions.
Sabihin mo sa emotions mo. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay.
reseta.
Okay. So I guess the thing that he told me was, which I now use as a mantra,
Mm,
is recalibrating.
mm,
And his point was, yeah, there are some days talaga na you wake up and kunwari, let's say you had wine the night before, or let's say um you didn't eat breakfast and then you stuffed down a lot of pizza and then nagka-heartburn ka.
mm,
That happens,
mm.
you know? Yung isa, alam mo ba yun? One I'd like to share, like every time it rains, nagkaka-anxiety attack ako kasi I think that Pancho will wake up.
Mm.
Ganon. So, and then if you recalibrate your mind and say, yeah, okay, it's raining.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Yeah.
Um,
You have to talk to your brain.
yeah, kuwari, kinakabag ako. Okay, kinakabag ako.
Ah.
I'm feeling shitty today. Okay, because of this, whatever. And that's why, you know, it's acknowledging also and being present of what's happening.
Mm.
So, parang, if it's raining or there's thunder, okay, there's thunder. Okay.
There's thunder.
And it really helped me, and siguro that's why this one naman, I talked to my ninong, who also underwent a post-traumatic event.
Mhm.
Sorry. Who underwent, or he is going through post-traumatic disorder,
Stress
disorder. He lost someone who was very close to him in a very horrible fashion. Anyway, he shared with me that, you know, itong mental health problems like anxiety, depression, and it's not, the more that you battle it, the more that it will, parang you will never win.
Mhm.
And the way that you should look at it is, how can I walk with it?
Yeah.
How can I walk through life with this, knowing
Mm.
that, parang instead of saying, parang, get away from me,
Mm.
nakatakas ka na and then nahabulin ka ulit.
Mm.
As opposed to that, doing it, hey, hi anxiety, you're here.
Mm.
O tara, okay, anong trip mo today?
Mm.
Okay, gusto mo ko mapraning dito? Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay. So, it's really that.
That's really nice. I really love it when you shared that with me. Learning to walk with it.
Mm-mm.
It's like, it's there. It's with you.
Yeah, and other things that I learned, well, I'm happy to say that because of the, what happened was, like, so I've been seeing him once a month now, only every 3 months, because the attacks have reduced significantly.
Yeah.
I'm under medication, but it's very light. Hindi
Mhm.
siya yung hindi siya wild, like yung sinabi ko. Like, I don't feel super happy. Like, I realized lang na, okay, I'm calmer pala.
Mm.
Ganun lang. And it just a heads up, it's kind of freaky in the first few weeks because
Yep.
your body adjusts the medication. But,
As you're learning the proper dosage, no?
yeah.
Mm.
And yun, happy to say that we haven't been drinking.
Yeah.
Like we've cut off alcohol in our lives, and it wasn't sa tagal-tagal na natin sinasabi ko
Mhm.
sinasabi na okay, hindi na ako iinom. Okay, parang before could not do it for a week.
Mhm.
That was like the hardest thing ever. And when I say drink, I mean have a glass of wine for dinner.
Yeah.
And ganun naman ang mentality ko before pa, and until now, like I want to have a glass of wine
Yeah.
with my steak. It tastes better. Hindi naman ako parang, ba't di na ako makatikila? Hindi ako ganun. Hindi na ako makapunta sa ganito. Hindi na ako makapunta sa reserve.
3151. Luma.
So yun. That's helped me. So here's a quick list lang of things that can help you if you are dealing with anxiety. Seek professional help.
Definitely.
That
has changed.
That's changed my life.
Mm.
You need to be diagnosed. You need to know how you can walk with this thing.
Mhm.
But how can you walk with it if you don't even know it's there?
Mm.
Exercise.
Yes.
I think if I wasn't exercising, if I wasn't sleeping, if my diet was bad, I think I would have really gone off the rails.
Yeah.
Journaling. Write down everything. If you're having an attack, write down. As in,
Maganda yun, no? Nagsasabi
yung
mo na may record
unfiltered,
ka.
isulat mo. Kasi ang ganda tingnan.
At saka nakikita mo kung kailan ka nagkaroon ng attack, and then you can talk about it with your
Yeah,
therapist.
when I talk to my doctor ngayon, I'm very quantitative.
Mm.
So, I say, Doc, I had one in the past month, I had one.
Mm.
Ganun. It's so much easier.
Mm.
Yeah, journaling, me time, take breaks.
And you have to schedule that in, no? Actually, put it in your calendar. Kasi you tend to just forget it. Eh. It's nice to have it like blocked off. And kasi instead of tatadrid mo yung calendar mo, thinking na ang dami mong time na libre, you have to also schedule it in. Because it's
Yeah.
very important. Have an appointment with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess last is just always, parang I think as human beings, like we're meant to win. I want to end with that.
Mhm.
Like parang we're meant to win. We and winning or victory, comes in different forms. It may not be it may not be the ideal vision you had for yourself as a victory. For me, victory for me would have been no medication, no whatever, and I'm like suddenly I'm perfect. I'm fine. I have no problem.
Mhm.
But now for me, I feel like I won.
Mm.
But because I was vigilant, I took charge.
Mm.
So yeah. Yeah. With that said, we'd like to thank our sponsor for this episode, Gian's Shore. And we strongly advise you guys to be vigilant, also be protected, especially during COVID.
Take control.
And dengue and all these things. And G Insurance covers those things.
Yes.
And it's
300 a year.
300 pesos a year. That's a
Yes.
burger. It's not a burger. Yeah, it is a burger in some places.
It's a good burger.
A burger for life. That's it.
Yes.
So, yeah. Let us know
So
what
check
you
it
think.
out.
And I would love to, connect with podkids who are dealing with this, and just to know that we're not alone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.